Hello everybody, welcome to my channel again. I would like to share with you some information that I have encountered that is truly devastating to me in America. Excuse me. The problem is the word out on the street. Overdoses, drug overdose. So, what are we going to do about this? It's just a crisis that seems as though at this moment it is uncontrollable. Um, just got news that in West Virginia they have an epidemic of heroin drug overdose to death. Um, it is very mind-boggling. I know most people have read in history of the drug addiction problems that was in America back in the 60s. And heroin was one of them. However, right now, what is out on the street now, the drug cartel, whatever they're pushing now out on the street with this heroin, it is the worst of the worst of the worst. And the word needs to be passed on. It is sad to hear of people's loved ones that I know they love dearly, and to hear news come to them that they have to come and identify one of their family members to make sure it's their family member that have OD'd on heroin. I just don't know how in the world it has then gotten out there on the street like that so rapidly that it is just taking people out by the thousands. Like in 1 week, 1,500 in West Virginia. And the news have stated that the age run from 12 years old to 25 years old. What in the world is a 12-year-old doing with a drug addiction? 12 years old. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, but it is a fact. It is a fact, a known fact. In West Virginia, 1,500 overdosed to death in 1 week. That number is just staggering. We have got to do something about this drug epidemic. The question is, what can we do as a people? In Cincinnati, the news gave a story that more than 20 overdoses on Tuesday night, 30 overdose over the weekend that led to death. Something got to be done about this. And the strange thing about it is that heroin is bad already. It is because it's misused. But the heroin that they have out on the street now is the worst of the worst of the worst. The news have given information that this new heroin that they have out on the street is laced with Elephant Tranquilizer. Elephant Tranquilizer. My heart just goes out to these individuals. It really does, because I know life sometimes can be rough, but as the saying goes, when the going get tough, the tough gets going. It it has to be another way to deal with life itself other than turning to drugs. There is a better way. It's called, I hope I don't step on anybody's toes, but it's called Jesus Christ. Turn to the Word of God that fulfills you with life, give you hope, give you a reason to live, give you the strength to deal with everyday tasks, life tasks. Uh, it's just to turn to drugs, a deadly drug at that. It's just overwhelming for me. It is just overwhelming for me. And it's so many right now. It's so many that is overdosing to death that it is really, really touched my heart. You know, I was just saying that, heroin have always been a bad drug on the street. But now what they're lacing it with that people is not aware of, that they have put out on the street, these drug cartels that have put it out on the street now, it is laced. Listen to what I'm saying. It is mixed with Elephant Tranquilizer. And it's not just going through your bloodstream and giving you a high. It is going straight to your heart and just blowing the person's heart up. ODing, overdose, to death. So I just think it is a praying time for all of you viewers out there that believe in prayer. It is a praying time. Just 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, on my son's job where he worked at, it's a restaurant, and he's doing some part-time work there. And it is so sad. The owner of the restaurant, a very prominent person in the city of Virginia Beach. And what happened, two young guys, I didn't quite get their exact age, but when they said young men, I'm thinking to work there at a restaurant and bar, had to have been over 18. So let's just say from 21 to 25 years old. Okay, these two young guys, they was homeless. One was homeless at first, and the owner of the restaurant, very good-hearted person, tried to help this one individual, and he gave him a job in the restaurant and took him off the street and took him into his home, trying to help the guy. Then another guy, the owner of this restaurant, took into his home and gave him a job, trying to help people, because anyone that has a drug addiction, it is really a disease, and they are really crying out for help and going in all the wrong directions to the drug pusher. Worst direction to go. However, I just can't even imagine. I just cannot even imagine, you know, what a person is going through that make them lead, that allow them or give them a reason that they think the only way out is to turn to drugs. Anyway, as I was saying, the owner took these two guys in, gave them a job, gave them a roof over their head. The guys had worked there for about 2 months, 2 to 3 months, and the owner of the restaurant went home one evening. This was 2 weeks ago. Went home one evening early because he hadn't heard anything from the two guys. They were supposed to came into work that particular day. And when he got to his home, he found both of the two young men dead, which they had overdosed on heroin. And it just blew my mind. It blew my mind because my son came home and he was just so distorted. And he was like, "Mom, I got some terrible news to tell you." And I said, "What?" And at this point, I'm looking, not knowing what he's going to tell me. And he told me about the guys that worked with him and how they were both found dead in the owner of the restaurant where he worked at home. I'm thinking in my mind, what in the world could this man have felt, the owner now, to come home to his house, his home, and not find one dead body, but two? Two dead bodies in his home of two human beings, two young guys that probably had everything to live for. Took them into his home, then went home and found both of them in his home dead. Two dead bodies in his home. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? And like I say, my heart just goes out to these individuals, and I'm asking you all of you viewers who tune in to my channel. I want to thank you in advance. I love you for tuning into my channel. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't from you all on this channel. And I just like to provide helpful information that and hoping that someone applied in their life to pass the word around that it is an epidemic of heroin mixed with elephant tranquilizer. And you know how big, how huge an elephant is. If you ever been to the circus or the zoo, just imagine the dosage that an elephant have to take in order for someone to put an elephant to sleep or to relax them, to relax an elephant. And that type of drug is going into a human being. These human beings do not know what is mixed with this heroin. They do not know it has been laced. It's not just the regular heroin, which the regular heroin is bad enough. And people overdose on the regular heroin. But the word on the street is, it is not just regular heroin. It is heroin that has been laced with elephant tranquilizer. Get the message out on the street if you can, because people need to wake up and know that it's bad enough that if anyone has turned to that type of drug, but it's what they have out there on the street now is worse. It's the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, to the point that it is an epidemic. So I just wanted to share that information with you all. To, anyone that you know, or just pass the word on. People, if you go into a store, you see somebody hanging around the store, trying to, you have panhandlers that be around certain stores. They are trying to, get money from people for whatever reason, and it could be to buy some heroin or whatever they're trying to buy. It's not always food, because it's many places that people can go that's on the street, that they can go to churches and stuff. They have soup kitchens and other places that will provide a meal a day, at least a meal a day. So, like I said, it is time to really, really, really pray for the American people, for America. People, a lot of people has then went completely out of control. They have gone completely out of control. And they're hurting inside. They're hurting inside. They're confused. They can't deal with life. I don't know. It's so many obstacles out there that can stagnate a person, that can just, make a person stumble. And sometimes they don't know how to get back up. So keep American people, America, keep America in prayer. Keep America in prayer. That's one way to make America better. Okay? That's one way to make America better. So, excuse me right now if it seems like I have an attitude, because I'm saying, what in the world? What in the world is going on? That you're finding numbers of human beings to 1,500 in less than a week's time overdosed to death on this drug, heroin. Get the word out. It's bad for your life. It's bad for your health. And it's bad for your heart. It is blowing it right up. Just imagine, imagine a pigeon. You know how sometimes people will play tricks on a pigeon because they say they eat everything, and they'll put a Alka-Seltzer out there for a pigeon, and the pigeon will pick the Alka-Seltzer up. And you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's real. They get that Alka-Seltzer in their body, and they just go poosh, just like that, just blow up right in the air. It just blows their heart completely up, and that's what this heroin is doing. So I just wanted to share that with the many of you viewers, whoever click onto my page. Please remember to subscribe to my page and give me a thumbs up. Word to the wise, okay? Until next time, you have a wonderful and blessed day. This is FoxxyBrown Sugar, aka Audrey Smith. FoxxyBrown Sugar #1. Love you all. Get the word out. Take care.